From fear to faith, igniting your inner glow in a world of darkness. Welcome to the Black CEO podcast, where we dive deep into the stories of trailblazers who are redefining success and changing the game. Today, we're in for a treat that will shake you to your core and light a fire in your soul. We're unpacking the incredible insights from our interview with Nellitia Price, a woman whose journey from fear to faith is nothing short of revolutionary. Nellitia isn't just another success story. She's a force of nature, a beacon of hope in a world that often feels shrouded in darkness. Her work through Within Me Glow's Wellness Center, LLC, Within Me Glow, WC, and Nellitia Natural Skin Care isn't just changing lives in Inglewood, California. It's sparking a movement that's empowering minority women across the nation to embrace their inner glow and rewrite their stories. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, another motivational speech about overcoming obstacles. But hold on to your seats, because Nellitia's story is about to flip everything you thought you knew about resilience, self-care, and the power of pivoting right on its head. Imagine this. You're a minority woman trying to carve out your place in a world that seems hell-bent on telling you no at every turn. You've invested 17 years in a marriage, built a life, and then suddenly find yourself facing divorce and traumatic events that shake the very foundation of your existence. This isn't some hypothetical scenario from a self-help book. This is Nellitia Price's reality. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of letting these setbacks define her, Nellitia used them as rocket fuel to ignite her inner fire and discover her true purpose. Now, I can almost hear some of you rolling your eyes. Another rags to riches story? Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. But trust me, Nellitia's journey is anything but cliche. It's a raw, unfiltered look at what it really takes to not just survive, but thrive in a world that often feels like it's playing with loaded dice. Let's talk about resilience for a moment, shall we? We all like to think we're tough cookies, that we can handle whatever life hurls our way. But how many of us can honestly say we faced rejection after soul-crushing rejection, day after grueling day, and still kept pushing forward? Nellitia didn't just face rejection. She stared it down, laughed in its face, and said, "Not today, Satan." Take a moment to let that sink in. How many times have you let a single no derail your dreams? How often have you allowed one setback to convince you that you're not cut out for success? Nellitia's story is a wake-up call, a reminder that resilience isn't about never falling. It's about how many times you're willing to get back up. But Nellitia's not the only one rewriting the rules of the game. Let me introduce you to Dominique Reighard-Brooks. Remember her? The America's Next Top Model finalist who could have rested on her laurels and lived off her 15 minutes of fame? Well, she had other plans. Dominique took a leap of faith that would make most people's knees weak. She became co-owner of E.E. Ward, the oldest consistently black-owned business in America. Talk about a pivot. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, well, that's great for her. She had a built-in fan base, a leg up. What about the rest of us? I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you about Funlayo Alabi, founder of Shea Radiance. Funlayo's story is a masterclass in the art of the comeback. Picture this. You finally landed your product on the shelves of a major store. It's your big break, the moment you've been dreaming of since you first scribbled your business idea on a napkin. And then disaster strikes. You can't keep up with the demand. It's every entrepreneur's nightmare, right? But here's where Funlayo's story takes a turn that'll give you goosebumps. Instead of throwing in the towel and resigning herself to a life of what ifs, she dug deep. She tapped into her passion and purpose, using them as a lifeline to weather the storm. And guess what? Today, Shea Radiance is back on those major retailer shelves, bigger and better than ever. Funlayo didn't just recover, she's now lifting up others through her work. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. That's all well and good, but I'm not trying to start a beauty empire or revolutionize an industry. I'm just trying to get through the day without losing my mind. And you know what? That's perfectly valid. But here's the kicker. Nellitia's message isn't just for the high flyers and the go-getters. It's for anyone who's ever felt beaten down by life. Anyone who's ever looked in the mirror and thought, I'm not enough. This brings us to the elephant in the room, self-care. I know. In today's hustle culture, taking time for yourself can feel like a luxury you can't afford. But Nellitia Price is here to flip that script. She understands that self-care isn't just about bubble baths and face masks, although those are nice too. It's about nurturing your inner glow, speaking powerful affirmations over your life, and refusing to let the world dim your light. This isn't some woo-woo new age nonsense. This is about survival. It's about thriving in a world that often feels designed to break you down. Nellitia's mantra, I'm better, not bitter. Let that sink in for a moment. How many times have you let setbacks turn you bitter, jaded, ready to throw in the towel? Nellitia's journey teaches us that true strength lies not in never falling, but in rising every single time we fall. But don't just take my word for it. Let's look at Kathryn Finney, the powerhouse behind Digital Undivided DI. Kathryn launched DID in 1998 with a mission to help tech startups led by Black and Latinx women succeed. Now, if you know anything about the tech industry, you know it's about as diverse as a loaf of white bread. But did Kathryn let that stop her? Hell no. She's raised over $4 million in funding and helped more than 500 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into reality. Kathryn's story is a testament to the power of empowerment and self-care. She didn't just build a successful business. She created a platform to lift up others who look like her. That's the kind of ripple effect that changes not just individual lives, but entire communities. Now, I can see some of you shifting uncomfortably in your seats. You're thinking, that's all well and good, but I'm not trying to start a tech empire or revolutionize an industry. I'm just trying to get through the day without losing my mind. And you know what? That's perfectly valid. But here's the thing. Nellitia's message isn't just for the high flyers and the go-getters. It's for anyone who's ever felt beaten down by life. Anyone who's ever looked in the mirror and thought, I'm not enough. Nellitia's journey led her to establish not one, not two, but three businesses in Inglewood, California. Within Me Glow's Wellness Center, LLC, Within Me Glow WC, and Nellitia Natural Skincare. But it's not the number of businesses that's impressive. It's the philosophy behind them. Each of these ventures is rooted in the belief that true beauty, true strength comes from within. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, another beauty guru telling me I need to love myself. But hold up, because this isn't about slapping on a smile and pretending everything's okay. This is about doing the hard work of nurturing your inner glow, even when, especially when, the world seems determined to extinguish it. Nellitia's approach to self-care and empowerment isn't about ignoring your problems or pretending they don't exist. It's about facing them head on, armed with the unshakable belief that you are worthy, you are capable, and you have the power to rewrite your story. Let's get real for a moment. How many times have you looked at successful people and thought they must have it all figured out? Well, I'm here to tell you that's a load of bull. Success isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to ask the questions, to take the risks, to fall flat on your face, and get back up again. Nellitia's journey is a testament to the power of pivoting. In a world that's changing faster than we can keep up, the ability to adapt isn't just a nice to have, it's a necessity. But here's the kicker. Pivoting isn't about abandoning your dreams. It's about being flexible in how you pursue them. Think about it. How many times have you clung to a plan or a goal, even when it was clear it wasn't working? How many times have you been so focused on the destination that you missed opportunities along the way? Nellitia's story teaches us that sometimes the detours are where the magic happens. But let's be clear, pivoting isn't about giving up at the first sign of trouble. It's about having the courage to reassess, to look at your situation with fresh eyes, and to say, okay, this isn't working. What else can I try? It's about being resilient enough to weather the storms and adaptable enough to adjust your sails when the wind changes direction. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, that's all well and good, but how do I actually do this? How do I find my inner glow when I feel like I'm drowning in darkness? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because Nellitia has some wisdom to drop on you. First things first, affirmations. I know it sounds cheesy, but hear me out. Words have power. The things we tell ourselves day in and day out shape our reality. So why not make those words work for you instead of against you? Nellitia swears by the power of daily affirmations, not just empty platitudes, but powerful statements that remind you of your worth, your strength, and your potential. Try this on for size. I am resilient. I am capable. I am worthy of success and happiness. Feel a bit uncomfortable? Good. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. The more you say these affirmations, the more you'll start to believe them. And when you believe in yourself, you become unstoppable. But self-care isn't just about positive thinking. It's about taking concrete action to nurture your mind, body, and spirit. For Nellitia, this meant creating spaces where people could come to recharge and reconnect with themselves. Whether it's through her wellness center or her skincare line, she's dedicated to helping others find their inner glow. Now, I can see some of you rolling your eyes. I don't have time for self-care, you're thinking. I'm too busy hustling, trying to make ends meet. And trust me, I get it. When you're in survival mode, taking time for yourself can feel like a luxury you can't afford. But here's the truth bomb Nellitia wants you to hear. You can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Think about it like this. Would you expect your car to run without fuel? Would you expect your phone to work without charging it? Of course not. So why do we expect ourselves to keep going and going without taking the time to recharge? But self-care isn't just about bubble baths and face masks, although those are nice too. It's about setting boundaries. It's about learning to say no to things that drain you and yes to things that fill you up. It's about surrounding yourself with people who lift you up instead of tear you down. Now, let's talk about fear for a moment. Because let's face it, when you're trying to make big changes in your life, fear is going to show up. It's going to whisper in your ear, telling you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not underscore, 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 underscore enough. But here's what Nellitia wants you to remember. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. Think about it. How many times has fear held you back from something you really wanted to do? How many opportunities have you missed because you were afraid to take the leap? Well, Nellitia is here to tell you that it's time to flip the script on fear. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, use it as fuel. Let it be a sign that you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, that you're growing, that you're on the verge of something amazing. Because here's the truth. On the other side of fear is where the magic happens. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. That's easy for her to say. She doesn't know my situation. And you're right. Nellitia doesn't know your specific circumstances. But what she does know is this. No matter where you are, no matter what you're facing, you have the power to change your story. You see, Nellitia's journey isn't just about overcoming adversity. It's about redefining what's possible. It's about looking at your circumstances, no matter how dire they may seem, and saying, this is not the end of my story. This is just the beginning of a new chapter. So here's my challenge to you, inspired by Nellitia's incredible journey. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Embrace your inner glow. Speak life over yourself every single day. Face your fears head on. Be willing to pivot when necessary. And above all, never, ever give up on yourself. Because here's the truth. You are capable of so much more than you realize. You have a unique gift, a unique perspective, a unique glow that the world needs. Don't let fear, rejection, or setbacks dim your light. Instead, let them fuel your fire. Remember, success isn't about never falling. It's about rising every time you fall. It's about being better, not bitter. It's about embracing your journey, detours and all, and trusting that every experience is shaping you into the person you're meant to become. As we come to the end of this journey through Nellitia Price's extraordinary story, I want to leave you with a challenge that will shake you to your core and ignite a fire in your soul. What would you do if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that you couldn't fail? What dreams would you dare to pursue? What risks would you take? What story would you write for yourself? Because here's the secret Nellitia wants you to know. You can't fail. Not really. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every no is just clearing the way for the right yes. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. So here's your call to action. Starting today, I want you to make a commitment to yourself, a commitment to nurture your inner glow, to speak life over yourself, to face your fears head on. I want you to look in the mirror every morning and say, I am resilient. I am capable. I am worthy of success and happiness. And I want you to mean it. But don't stop there. I challenge you to take one bold action every day that scares you. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's making that phone call you've been putting off. Maybe it's applying for that job you think you're not qualified for. Maybe it's finally starting that business you've been dreaming about. And here's the kicker. I want you to share your journey. Use the hashtag #MyInnerGlow on social media. Share your victories, no matter how small. Share your setbacks too, because they're part of the journey. Let's create a community of people who are committed to shining their light no matter what. Remember, your story has the power to inspire others. Your resilience, your perseverance, your willingness to pivot and adapt, these aren't just tools for your own success. They're beacons of hope for others who are still finding their way. So go out there and shine. Embrace your glow. Speak those affirmations. Take care of yourself. Face those fears. And remember, in the words of Nellitia Price, I'm better, not bitter. The world is waiting for your light. Don't keep it waiting any longer. It's time to ignite your inner glow and set the world on fire. Are you ready? Because your journey starts now. Let's make it extraordinary.